Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Could you please introduce yourself by telling us your name and spelling your first and last name for the court record?
Yes, Michael Gibbons, Michael Gibbons.
And how are you currently employed?
I am a lieutenant with the Fairfax County Police Department.
And how long have you been with the police department?
I've been a police officer for 9 years.
And how were you employed on February 24th, 2023?
I was the Days A Sergeant of the Reston Squad for the Fairfax County Police Department.
Were you on duty that day?
I was.
Were you in uniform and displaying your badge of authority that morning?
I was.
And is your department issued uniform equipped with body-worn camera?
It was.
And can you tell us how your body-worn camera works?
Our body-worn cameras are activated either manually or automatically upon activation of emergency lights and sirens, firearm being removed from the holster, or a taser also being removed from the holster or activated.
And at the end of the day, what happens with your body-worn camera?
They're put into a dock so they can be uploaded.
And Lieutenant Gibbons, drawing your attention to the morning of that date, February 24th, 2023, did you respond to a call for service that day?
I did.
And where did you respond?
I responded to 13230 Stablebrook Way, which is in Herndon, part of Fairfax County.
And can you describe the neighborhood as you saw it on that day?
Residential neighborhood in Fairfax County. That house is located at the end of a street with a shared driveway.
And when you responded to that address, what, if any, vehicles were in the driveway of the home that you responded to?
There were 2 vehicles in the driveway. There was a Jeep SUV and a Volkswagen SUV.
And did you note anything else about the home that you responded to?
Typical Fairfax County neighborhood. Houses are relatively close together.
And upon arriving at that location, what'd you do?
I grabbed a blowout kit or a medical bag from my police cruiser, grabbed that, ran up to the residence, where I was instructed that the medical supplies were needed up in the master bedroom of the residence.
And did you respond to the bedroom?
I did.
And what did you see when you went into the bedroom?
First glance, I saw a female that was nude. She was covered in blood, laying on her left side, with a gentleman standing over her with bloody hands. There was an officer rendering aid to her, and then multiple officers surrounding the bed, gathering medical supplies.
And do you recognize anyone from that scene here today?
I did.
Who?
The defendant.
And can you point him out and describe something that he's wearing in his hair color?
Appears to be a black suit, brown hair.
Judge, I'd ask the court to recognize that Lieutenant Gibbons has identified the defendant.
All right, the record will so reflect.
And when you went into the bedroom, what did you do?
I immediately opened the medical bag. A chest seal was requested from the officers, so I opened that up, immediately applied pressure and the chest seal to the female.
And did fire department personnel ever arrive?
They did, and they relieved me from rendering aid.
And what did you do after the fire department arrived and relieved you?
Because it was a crowded space with a lot of people, I went into the bathroom, which was where the defendant was.
And what did you do in the bathroom?
I stood there, kept him separated, and spoke to him briefly for a few minutes.
So you had some conversation with him?
I did.
And what did you ask him?
I asked him first if he was injured, to which he replied no. And then I asked him how long they had been down.
And what was his response when you asked how long they had been down?
He said, I followed up that question with, since you called, to which he replied, she called. She had to find her phone. My hands were covered.
And did he ever ask about his wife or Joe Ryan?
He first asked, does he have a pulse? To which I believe I replied, I'm not sure, or I don't know. He did follow up with, is she breathing? Or is she going to be okay? Was what he said.
And did he say anything about his daughter?
Later in the conversation, it was mentioned that there was a child in the residence. He did ask about her, and I advised him that the au pair had gotten her out of the house.
And how long do you think that your conversation lasted with him in the bathroom?
Not more than a few minutes.
And what happened after the two of you spoke in the bathroom?
After we spoke, the fire department was carrying the female out of the residence. So I had 2 officers ready to escort the defendant out, to which he started to become upset. And we waited a minute so he could collect himself, Then they escorted him outside of the residence.
Okay. At this point in time, I am going to ask for Commonwealth 10 to be displayed to the witness and to counsel only. So if you look at your screen, can you tell me if you recognize what Commonwealth's Exhibit 10 is?
My body camera footage from that event.
And have you had a chance to review this before today?
I have.
And is the video that we see, that we're going to see, is it a fair and accurate depiction of what you initially saw and did that morning as you responded to this call for service?
It is.
Judge, I'm going to ask the court to admit Commonwealth 10. I'm going to ask that it be played to the jury and counsel only, and I'm going to ask for it to be sealed.
All right, any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, 10 is an evidence under seal.
Shooter is yet? They're working on that? No, not the shooter stuff, but I think it's upstairs.
Where do we block it? Top and bottom.
She's grabbing the 4-year-old.
Okay, perfect.
Where you at? Left or right? Left.
I think chest seal on her, and how we're kind of fighting right now.
Just stay there. Stay there. There's another one behind me.
Hey, open this up from over. Yeah, I got it right from here. Okay, go. Thank you.
What do we need? Chest seal?
Check for a pulse for the guy behind me. Yeah. Exactly.
He's breathing, so chest seal.
We got one guy up here, gunshot wound, one female, multiple stab wound.
Holy shit.
Someone do this for me? I got one hand kind of tied up now.
Up this way.
Just go in the tub. Go sit in the tub.
He's in the bathroom. Up here. Where do you need chest seal?
He's got on the neck.
Multiple stab wounds on the neck. Ready? As soon as I let go. Go for it. Ready? Go for it. Ready? Miss one. Chest seal. Get another one. There's another half. Ready? Go for it.
Yep, pull this down. Let's work on her, okay?
Just fucking hold pressure. Just sit in the tub. Just sit in the tub.
You need another chest seal?
Yeah, whatever you have.
Just whatever you. Hey, get another ALT. Get more blowout kits. Is there anything else that we know of other than this? This one and the guy behind me. On this female. I don't know. Okay. I do not know. Brendan has defense wounds to the hand, but.
Everybody's in California. Gonna need your K9 or helo at this point. K9 10. Yeah, direct hit.
Securing firearm.
Just leave it where it is. Tank.
Yep.
Since we got this kind of wait for the medics, can you talk with him? Shoot him.
Stand by 1 second.
Medics expedited.
Do we have a pulse on anybody? I can feel him breathing. Hey, do you have a pulse on him?
No.
No pulse.
Okay, so we have one. CPR on, go ahead.
Multiple stab wounds.
CPR on him. Yeah, if you don't have anything, start going. Start doing.
Alright, who's the most viable, you guys know?
This one apparently has a pulse.
Alright,
Multiple stab wounds to the neck.
James, where is he? To the right, we have a pulse, multiple stab wounds. To the left, there's a CPR with gunshot wound.
I felt the pulse when I was holding the neck.
Alright.
We have multiple chest seals on the neck. We don't know if we have right here.
We don't know any of
Multiple
them.
stab wounds to the neck. Chest seals.
Yes.
Don't know if we actually have them.
Don't know if it's one on the other side. We don't know.
Okay, she's still breathing?
We can feel blood moving. We can see her. We can see her cheek.
He's not doing CPR on him.
You guys good?
Yeah, we're gonna get her.
Okay. Get down. You do this.
Yeah, this. She's breathing over here. She's bleeding.
You're good.
That's why we're moving her. Back to him. Take him downstairs. I can't feel it. You can't feel the pulse?
Are you hurt? Do you have any injuries?
Sorry,
I don't think so.
I don't know. Okay, just stay where you are. Stay where you are.
No pulse wound, dude.
Nothing?
There's nothing.
So what's the story?
Do you live here?
This is my house. This is my wife. I don't know him.
You don't know him. This is your wife.
The other woman is our au pair, nanny.
Where is she?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
How long have they been down? It's right there.
How long? Right when you called us?
She called. She had to find her phone. My hands
Okay.
were covered.
All right. You're gonna stay right here with me.
until we get this sorted out a little bit, okay? You don't have any injuries that you know of? Okay, all right. He doesn't know? That's your wife? This is my wife. Yeah, so he's... yeah...
You don't know that guy at all?
I don't know. He's the shooter.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just trying to figure out, where's the gun currently? Leave them right where they are, if that's where we found them.
We moved them away.
All right, that's fine.
They were on the,
Just... where do you want... yeah, hey, you know what, sir? Just have a seat. We're going to close these doors. This way they can work, if you guys are good right there.
Hey, Sarge,
What's up?
you want us to escort him outside?
No, right now they're working, so we're just going to let them work.
Does she have a pulse?
I'm not sure. You're not working. Okay. Okay. All right. So once they...
Is she gonna be okay?
We're gonna let them work for a minute. We're gonna let them do what they need to do. We'll just get you downstairs. Hey, Stefiani, or Hugh, very closely. We're gonna escort him down. Just don't touch anything. Just let's let them. Sorry, let them go first. I thought they were gonna.
Is there kids down there? The kids are out on the way.
My daughter's here. I don't know.
I think the au pair got her out.
Don't worry about that. Okay. Just grab the monitor. Monitor, we'll go with it, that's fine. Zach, stay here. You're with me.
Hold on. What are we doing here?
He's gonna stay. We're gonna make sure no one else is hurt in the house.
Okay, all right. We're gonna get husband downstairs. Do you need a second? Have a seat. Just write down. Just have a seat. He's starting to lose it a little bit. Hey, boss, can we get one of you guys to...
Yeah, I got more units here. We'll check him out.
He's starting to break down a little bit.
If we could terminate the view. And then at some point after the view that we just saw, did the defendant leave the bedroom?
He did.
And who was left in the room with you when he left?
First, it was 2 personnel from the fire department, and then a third joined us.
And when you were in the bedroom after the defendant had left, were there any firearms, unsecured firearms in the room?
There were 2 unsecured firearms located on the bed.
And did you make any observations about the state of the bedroom when you were speaking with the firefighters?
Yes, I noticed and stated that the blood appeared to have been there a while. It appeared that it had been soaked into the carpet, started to dry in certain areas, and then there was a specific location near the female that appeared to be clotting or clumping together.
I don't have any more questions for you. Mr. Carroll is going to have some questions for you.
All right, cross-examination.
Officer Beckner, do you know, or Lieutenant Beckner, sorry.
Lieutenant Gibbons, sir.
Do you know what order you were there from FCPD?
For the record, Lieutenant Gibbons, and I do not know.
I'm sorry, Lieutenant Gibbons. I apologize.
It's okay. First handful, 5 or 6 maybe.
Okay. Do you know who the first person was?
Top of my head, I do not.
Okay. And so you essentially at the moment you got in, you took over kind of custody or observation of my client, correct?
So I took command of the scene inside.
I'm sorry, I can't.
I took command of the inside of the residence. That was my role.
Okay. And were you asked to do that?
No, that was my job as the squad sergeant.
Okay, so did you provide a chest seal or anything like that?
I did.
Okay, and then that's when you went into the bathroom and told him to sit on the bathtub and all those sorts of things?
Correct.
Okay, and that was, were you observing that he wasn't able to stand at that point? Or were you just saying, this is where I want you to be while this is going on?
So in a patrol capacity, my firearm is located on my thigh. And the stance I was in while rendering aid, my right thigh was directly facing him into the doorway of the bathroom. So to prevent any access to a firearm, as he was identified as the shooter of the event, but also it was a very crowded space. So I determined the tub was a safe location for him to be, either sitting in it, on it, outside of where we needed to work.
Okay, so he hadn't at that point experienced the issues regarding his legs that you saw later in your video?
Not that I had noticed.
Okay, you didn't notice that. Now, the dispatch told you that he was the shooter?
I don't recall.
Okay.
If it was dispatcher, I know officers on scene made
Okay.
comments or statements that he was the shooter.
Okay. Did any of those officers or people on the scene tell you that he was also a law enforcement officer?
I don't think so.
Did you notice that he had magazines on his belt or
No,
handcuffs?
no.
Okay. You escorted him out, correct?
I did not.
Okay. Who do you remember escorting him out?
It was Officer Hugh was one of them.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if it was now Sergeant Bell. He may have been the second officer.
Okay. Could it have been Officer Beckner?
Could have.
Okay. And were you aware that Officer Beckner in the ambulance took 2 magazine cases, I may not know the term, and handcuffs and a Garmin watch? Did you know that was taken from him?
I was aware that 2 magazines and a watch were removed. I was unaware of any handcuffs.
Okay, so when was it you were became aware of that?
Once he was in an ambulance.
Okay, so you didn't realize he was a law enforcement officer until well after the heat of the moment?
I don't think at that point I even knew he was a law enforcement officer.
Okay. And so is it fair to say dispatch didn't communicate any of that information, or would you have missed it if it was communicated?
There's always information that potentially gets missed, especially on a high priority call, where you're trying to get to a residence or a scene as fast as you can to render aid and try to save a life. So if they did, and it was voiced or written in a CAD, I did not notice.
Okay. And have you reviewed your CAD or any of those records from that day?
I've reviewed my body camera footage. I did not review the CAD comment, the CAD event.
Now, is the body cam footage that we just saw, is that a portion of it or is that all of it?
That's a portion.
Okay. And how many more minutes are there that we didn't see?
Without looking at the timestamp, a couple minutes.
Okay. When do you recall, so I think Ms. Bristler may have asked you about how the body camera works and how it gets started. How does it get shut off?
Excuse me. Usually manually, unless it runs out of battery.
Okay. Did you run out of battery?
No,
Okay. So manually you shut it off at some point.
correct.
How long after the last scene we saw in that audio or video clip was it?
A few minutes.
Okay. No. And would it have been, do you know where it would have been?
After the defendant was in an ambulance,
Okay.
and I was told that there were 2 magazines and a watch removed from his person.
Okay. And then you shut it off?
Correct.
Okay, I gotcha. Now, your observations that you made regarding the room, do you have training in those observations?
As a law enforcement officer, we're trained to make observations, take note of things that will
Okay.
help investigators. I have taken numerous classes through our academy, one of which, I don't know the specific name of it, is involving blood specifically.
Okay, and so you knew what clotting looked like?
I knew what dry blood looked like, and I knew the blood as it was clumping. I don't know the technical term.
Okay.
I'm not an expert for that.
Gotcha.
But my observations at the time,
Okay.
that's what it appeared to be.
Okay. Your Honor, court's indulgence.
Yes, sir.
Now, you had testified that he had asked about his daughter, which we hear on the body cam, and then you testified that he became upset and broke down. Was that simultaneous to that?
I was within probably a minute or so.
Okay.
without looking at the camera.
Do you remember?
I remember it all being very close to each other, or close together. The scene as a whole, although it's multiple minutes, in your head.
And did
Be very
you say anything to allay his concerns about his daughter, like she was with the nanny or with another officer or anything like that?
Yes, I did. I told him that I believe the au pair had gotten her out of the house.
Okay, and you'd heard that from others?
Yes.
Okay. Did that seem to work with regard to him being upset?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Did that seem to work? That the fact that you said that he had broken down?
No, it didn't change his demeanor. It didn't make him happier, if that's what you're looking for.
Well, I'm just curious what you saw.
He was upset. He was visually upset.
Excuse me one second.
All right, redirect.
Court's indulgence for 1 moment. Judge, I don't have any further questions. He is not subject to recall for us.
No need for recall.
Okay, sir, you're free to go. Thank you.